Welcome back everyone to 3 Lines TCG. Today we're going to be doing another One Piece grab bag. If you haven't seen my previous renditions of this series, basically we just open up a bunch of little small products, sometimes even a booster box, but usually it's just sleeve booster packs, things like that we can't really do for one main video, so we just kind of put it all together. In today's case, we've got a decent amount here. Big shout out to Zol Realm. I vended with them this past weekend, if you saw my last video. Obviously I showed some pickups and kind of explained that we went to the Nashville card show to vend. So that's Ty and his family and their booth, so big shout out to them. I got all of today's product from their booth. Basically on Sunday before I left, I ended up pulling the trigger and buying some sealed products. So we do have an OP-15 sealed booster box that was opened from the case, so pack fresh or case fresh. We've got a couple dash packs that we're going to open today, which I think is quite cool, because I don't think we've ever opened those on the channel. And then a couple of sleeve booster packs. We're just going to take some risks on here. We could absolutely get nothing, but I'll always kind of buy an OP-14 pack just for the chance for a Bubble Zoro. Obviously, I would love to be able to pull that. One of my favorite cards in the modern sets. And then we've got the ST-30 deck, which is actually a very, very solid deck. I've been running into it quite a lot on the sim. So I do want to open this, obviously, to see what we get. But I actually need the structure deck too. So there's a couple cards in there that are super playable with some of the decks I want to build. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get started. So we'll go ahead and do the dash packs first. We'll do, I don't know, just kind of like for Christmas, I like to open up all my cards first, you know, the smaller gifts, and we leave the big ones to the end, right? Let's see what we've got in dash pack number 1. We have the Nami, which is the best pull you can get, so that is beautiful. A very nice looking card as well. This is the OP-15. This is your Searcher card that you'll end up using in a lot of decks, so I imagine now that this is the full rarity, or probably the highest rarity for this particular card, I imagine that's why it's a decent penny. We'll go ahead and do a little zoom in here because it is Nami, and I know what you actually want. So, yeah. Enjoy. Yeah! Okay, moving on to the second dash pack. Let's see what we get in this one. I don't actually remember all the options on the top of my head. I just remember Nami being the more expensive one, but let's go. I didn't know Zoro had one. That's huge. Oh, that's an awesome pull. So I knew this card existed, obviously. I had the regular version from OP-15. Because it is just an uncommon, but I didn't know that they had a dash pack version, so that's awesome. So we will add that into our Zoro collection. And I always love pulling Zoros, especially stuff that I don't already have, so that is huge. And I don't think it's too expensive, but we'll definitely take that. Okay, let's do the sleeve booster packs now. Let's see if we can manifest that Zoro look, and can we just, like a magician, go ahead and put that Bubble Zoro in this pack right now. Let's see. Light work, no reaction. Here we go. Here we go. This is going to be easy. Let's just pull an $800 card or whatever it is now. I think it's gone down a bit. Hopefully it's gone down a bit. I don't know. When I say hopefully, I mean it means hopefully it's more affordable for me to actually get it, because I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to pull it. We've got Hachan, Senior Pink, Mr. 4, Stealth Black, Bluegrass, Bird Neptunian, Pika, Disappointed, Shaku Yaku. We've got Kid. We have a chance. Got the rare into just the double rare. That's how it goes sometimes. We'll take Aladdin and Kid, though. 2 playable cards. Obviously, they've all dropped in value because no one's really running a lot of the decks that use those cards, but who knows, they could come back into fruition. I mean, for me at least, I do run the Jinbei, which I do run Aladdin's in the Jinbei deck. So that card's still very useful. And I'm pretty sure that one does have a dash pack. I do remember that. And I always found it crazy that it was a dash pack that I think is like 40 cents. It's like super cheap. So I guess if you wanted to run those, then it's not really that expensive. We got the leader pack. We got Brook, Laboon, Smoker Tashigi into I'll Whip You into Shape. And we did get the Don at the end, so I'll take that. That's not terrible. All right, let's go ahead and open up the ST-30 starter deck. Now, if you don't know, the crazy thing about this and why it's been scalped to an absolute insane degree is because you can get a God deck in here. So, obviously, we'll know immediately, as soon as we open the box, you'll just see the parallel version of the leader in the God deck, and that means every single card in the deck is paralleled. So, what I find funny is that they're selling for like $1,100 on eBay, even though the cards in there aren't even remotely worth that much. We didn't get the God deck, but that's okay. We're still going to open it. Like I say, I still need some of the cards in this actual set. The 4-cost Luffy anti-blocker is just insane. You get a lot of value for that. So I think using that with Guffy, which is the new Luffy deck that I'm going to be building, I think that is going to be vital to add in there, as well as the Mr. 3. The Mr. 3 I'll talk about here when we get to that. That card is insane as well. But we do get the bonus pack. We do at least get a chance at 3 alt arts. Obviously, the big one we want to get here is the leader. That is the most expensive one. I will say there isn't quite a lot of room here, so I might be struggling to open this the traditional way. I might have to open it from the back, we'll see. There just doesn't feel a lot of room on the tear here. I don't want to mess up the cards. Here, give me a sec, this might take a second. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is, Mr. 3. So this is the parallel. This card is super useful. So you can rest this card, give up to 2 of your characters with 6,000 base power, up to 2 rested Don cards each. So the combo with this is usually your Buggy and your Prisoners of Impel Down, right? That's usually where you're going to use this. Of course, you could use it on the new Luffy as well. The name of this era is Whitebeard, so a parallel event here with Ace screaming the name of this era is Whitebeard. And we got the Jinbei altar. Okay. I had a feeling I was going to pull this, and I probably didn't need to buy one. I actually bought one at the show. It's like $1 right now. It's nothing crazy. But I definitely one of my favorite Jinbei cards in recent times here. So definitely going to have to add that into the Jinbei PC. As you see, he's dragging Luffy away. They've conveniently covered his eyes with the text. But if you know, you know what happens in that scene. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the deck now. So, I will run through it. If you've not seen the actual structure deck, then this is your time to, pause and read everything. We won't go through everything, but I'll point out the ones that make this deck quite aggressive. Obviously, it's a 6k leader with 4 life, so that already pisses me off. But basically, all of your Ace and Luffy cards gain 3k on your opponent's turn. So, this is now a 9k when it's rested, basically. And most of these, or at least this Ace and the Luffy, do get Rush. You just have to rest a Don card. So basically, for 5 Don, you get to Rush. The artwork is beautiful though for this Ace. Like obviously, like I love them fighting back and forth. They've had a lot of artworks that have had that, to be honest. But these are really nice. This is the 4-cost 6k Luffy I was talking about. That you can just rest up to one of your opponent's blockers. Like there's no requirements. Any blocker beard. Any Blackbeard blocker, like it doesn't matter, they're just rested. So, beautiful Newgate here as well. The other card before that was your Searcher, so that's what you search with your 6Ks. This Ivankov is actually used in the new Roger variant, so Roger wants to utilize the 6Ks, and it's actually a more consistent deck for Roger players, so I don't really like to say that out loud, because I generally lose into Roger most of the times I play into him, but yes, he has a lot of support with this deck. I love this Marco. I actually just like the artwork on this one. Again, he always has super under... If you're going to collect a character and you want to be really cool and no one else collects him, do Marco. He has beautiful artworks. I think a lot of the cards that I have of him are just in my binder where I just love the artworks, and I think he has kind of like Magmar for me in Pokemon. He just has some dope artwork. So we've got a Buggy. I didn't know he was in here. Well, I'll be definitely keeping one of those. That means that there should be, like I say, a parallel to all of these cards as well. So I'll definitely want to get the parallel Buggy. And this Crocodile is super useful. This is a really good 6-cost play. Obviously, it becomes a blocker, but up to one of your rested characters will not become active. So you basically freeze one of your rested characters, one of your opponent's rested characters, and there is no cost, limitation, so it can be a big 10 cost as well. We've got the GOAT, Mr. 2 here. It's kind of a weird card in terms of the way it's drawn, but I still like it because it's Mr. 2, and we will add that into the PC, of course. We would obviously want a parallel version as well. And then this is the Mr. 3, so just the base card alone I think is a couple bucks just because of how useful this is. Obviously, you can use that buff, like the active main, like I said. It also has 2k counter, so it's really solid to run in a lot of your green-blue Luffy decks. And then we've got the events. I think this is the best event. Can you still fight Luffy? Of course. This is probably your best and most useful event, because you can do 3k counter to your leaders or characters, and then draw a card if you have Luffy and Ace on the field, which you always will in this deck. And then this is a searcher by the looks of it, just to be able to get your 6 costs into your hand as quick as possible. So a lot of these are the type of things that you'd probably take out of the deck, but can be very useful, you know, if you just want to run the structure deck, you know, plainly. But there's a lot of, you know, you can take a lot of those cards and add them to different decks, and I think that's why this structure deck in general is quite good, quite good. Anyway, though, let's move on to the box. We're going to do the OP-15 box. Like I said, this came directly from a fresh case, so we got the first box choice. The chances of me wanting 12ing this and getting the SP or the manga are still very low, but it means we've got the best chance possible, though, right? Fresh case, so we have no idea what we're going to get here. I went ahead and picked number 5, so the 5th booster box. That's my dad's lucky number, and I don't know, every time we did that in the case openings, we had a really good box. So, if we don't have a good box, then you know who to blame. I'm just kidding, don't do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we get. We got Doll, we got Fuza. We have opened this set quite a lot, but I think, honestly, this is probably the best set for bang for your buck in terms of chances. Sonji, I do like that one, and we got the Jin, so not too bad there. You would need 4 of these at least if you wanted to run Christmas Krieg, which, speaking of Christmas Krieg, I did actually used to run that. I do enjoy it out of like a green-red deck. It's got an interesting mechanic, and I feel like I saw a leak for the new Shanks in OP-17 that has a similar mechanic. It's about adding Rested Don or adding Don to your leader, and I think it does a certain amount of damage. I can't remember. I'd have to reread it, but the mechanic itself is starting to come into play, which I find to be quite interesting. Just another double rare there. Ty Day, actually friend of the channel, he is gonna build Christmas Krieg, and I was telling him like it is a fun deck. I think his playstyle would be more meant for the ST-30 deck though. So I'm probably going to convince him that that might be more his speed. But I don't know. I've been playing Yamato, and I just constantly lose into that new ST-30 deck. So, because it's hard for me to get to 9k without doing my combos. We have a start here. We got the secret rare, Monkey D. Luffy, which we've never actually pulled out of all of our boxes. This is our first time seeing this on the channel. A beautiful card. I do love how they do the texture on the secret rares. Obviously, this is Luffy, so a super playable card too. Like, you run this with Sky Luffy and stuff, so not too bad there, not too bad there. And we have a chance, right? We have a chance for a 3-hit box now. I've also seen, like, secret rares, you have a manga chance too, right? So most boxes that you pull a manga from have a secret rare as well, so hopefully, we can get something here. We got the leader pack, we got Brook, Kobe, Alvida, into a Kuma. Now, I plan on posting this on Saturday, so England should be playing that day around 4 p.m. my time. So, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I can get it done before then, because I will definitely be preoccupied watching that match. If you've been watching the World Cup and you're a fan of that, then let me know who you're supporting down below. It's never a bad choice to say England. Yeah, it's never. You're always going to get a like from me from that. And there's some worthy candidates as well. This has been an interesting World Cup so far. But if you have been watching, let me know down below. And also, if you've been opening up any One Piece recently, let me know too what you've been opening. I've not really been able to see too much OP-16 on the shelf, but I will say I've got some exciting news, at least from my locals. They will start getting a lot more product in, so hopefully when I go and play on Wednesday, I can actually get some product to open, which will be very, very fun, and obviously we'll get some more stuff to open on the channel too. Nice little Zoro SR here, the yellow SR. We need, the only good thing about this set, and this is what I'll say, regardless of your hits, because obviously you can definitely get there's some pretty big dud or alt arts in this set, but what makes up for it in terms of value is definitely your SRs. The SRs from this set go crazy. You've got Mama, you've got Borsalino, you've got the other Zoro, Red Zoro, like 3 still very expensive SRs that are super runnable. Oh, I think we've got a hit here. We've got Shura into the Alvida alternate art. Okay, we haven't actually seen this one, I don't think. I don't think we pulled this one in our previous video. It's a beautiful looking card, man. I know it's not expensive, and obviously, you know, you would run this in Christmas Krieg, so no one's really running that. But we will go ahead and get a zoom in here. I think the texture, I love the etching on the right-hand side here, though, or the texture on the stars, but just on the actual swipe itself. I'm assuming that's her doing, or maybe she's just doing or maybe she's just twirling, I don't know. but obviously Alvida when she's skinny. So you know, it's a pretty cool card actually. I think she's got some underrated artworks, and this is a pretty nice one. So we'll take that. I'm okay with that. It's one of those where I don't know. Does it make it to the forbidden binder? We'll see. I didn't say Gyat, did I? I don't know if it was Gyat worthy just because it's Alvida and yeah, it's Alvida. But anyway, we got Luffy, we got Lucy, Distorted Future in 2. We have another SR. Oh, we got the Nami SR, which if you don't know, the alt art for this is just popping off the wedding Nami. That card is super expensive now, so that's another reason why opening OP-15 is a solid choice. The alt art, some of the alt arts go crazy. Okay, so not too bad here, but we've already gotten 2 out of our potential 3 hits, so we might start speeding up here. And we have seen most of these already, so if this is your first time seeing this, then obviously we like to go through all the artworks, but we will go a bit quicker now. We have opened a couple boxes of OP-15 now, and we've had insane luck, so that's the only reason why I thought I'd go ahead and pull the trigger on another OP-15 box, just because my luck with this set has been crazy. We've pulled the SP and the SP Boa, which was huge, obviously. It has one of my favorite rares of all time, this Pirates Docking 6. Definitely my favorite rare, I think, of all time, like I say. There's a couple of good Zoro rares, to be fair, but that one with the whole crew, well, basically the whole crew. not the entire crew, but the ones that want to make a robot. Yeah, really cool artwork. Really like that one. So that one is probably going to be one of the many crew cards that I have on the beginning of my Straw Hat crew binder. I think that's how I'm going to present it in terms of the first page will have a lot of the crew members in it, and then I'll kind of move into the crew itself. But I kind of mentioned it in the last video. I'm kind of changing how I collect the crew, just because now Luffy's and Nami's and even Nico Robins are just crazy expensive. We got a nice Mama Ragon here. Here we go. This is the SR that you need, right? It's like a $15, $16 card used in pretty much all purple decks now. It's just so useful, and that's again one of those SRs that most people need playsets of. So always a good hit there. We'll always take that. But yeah, I just, in terms of how the crew, in terms of the expense of it now, just like Choppers and Nico Robins and Nami's and Luffy's, and I'm not really bothered about collecting Usopp, to be honest. So, but those 4 are just, they're now at levels where it's just going to be impossible to be able to get all of them. Where the other side of the crew, well, it's a little bit more obtainable. And obviously, I'm a big Zoro fan, so I would focus Zoro first. And then Sanji, and then, I love Frankie, Brook, and Jinbei, and for me, a lot of those cards are more obtainable, and they're a little bit more cheaper, but I think the artworks themselves are just absolutely insane, so I would much rather focus on them in the crew, and they've still got plenty of cards, and plenty of expensive cards too, so I think I start there, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, the Rebecca alt art leader! Oh, this is beautiful. I've actually not seen this one in person. I've seen a couple at the show, but I never actually picked it up to look at it, so we'll get a nice zoom in here. Man, I love the way they did these leaders, though. I think crew leaders, anything that has the crew in the background, or just maybe not necessarily a pirate crew, but just characters that are related to each other. I just think that's just such a well done alt art leader. And Rebecca isn't really too playable, not a lot of people play Rebecca, so that's why it's as cheap as it is, but I think, for this type of card, just in terms of a collection piece, it's just awesome. Especially if you enjoy the Dressrosa sort of arc, and if you're a fan of Rebecca, and, even that whole storyline, then this is an awesome collection piece, but, also if you want to have a troll little Rebecca deck, then not too bad to pull the alt art leader. Well, the only downside now is, that's it, right? That's our 3rd hit. So, I guess we have a chance for a gold Don, maybe. I think that's probably the only, because I think that's the only way you can get maybe a 4-hit box. So maybe we have a gold Don opportunity, but again, right now, I guess we're just hunting for value. So we want decent SRs, which, there we go, a little back-to-back Rebecca there. Obviously, you run Rebecca in Lucy, which is still a very strong deck, still very, not annoying deck to play into. It just depends on, what your matchup is, but I played into one, but I was playing Jinbei, and Jinbei counters Lucy, so it actually worked out in my favor. But it was still a tough match. Still went to the absolute end of the, went into double overtime. So it was still a fun match there. Nice Don card. So that's our one Don card. So we've got one other Don, obviously, right? And I guess it has a chance to be gold. But otherwise, we're just now really all we want is. I mean, what? Yeah, I think SRs. We just need a Borsalino and a Red Zoro, right? That if we want, in terms of like, if we want to focus on value now, because we don't have any more hits, those are going to be the best SRs to pull. So if we can pull those, I think I'll be happy. That's fine. I just like getting cards that we haven't seen either. Wait, there's one of them. There's the Zoro. Perfect. It has dropped in value a bit. It's like a $15 card now, but still super playable. Like, you need it in Roger, you need it in a lot of the red decks. I think Shanks even runs it too. Just very solid to be able to give your leader the 2k power. So it makes Roger a 9k leader. It makes, Shanks a 7k. So I don't know. It's just got a lot of playability. Go ahead and use them, Mr. Luffy. We got Ohm. Yeah, generally when I do these openings, I just want to see unique artworks, right? So what I loved about this box so far is, well, I mean, so far, I don't think, if anything, we get the gold on, but seeing the alt art Rebecca leader, the Alvida alt art, even the Luffy secret rare, I don't think we pulled any of those in our previous boxes, so just getting new cards, seeing new cards, especially the hits, right? That's really what I care about when we open these boxes. It is what it is, right? If you hit the SP, you hit the SP, and then there you go. But, you've got a 2 out of 12 chance to do that, and then obviously your manga chances are even worse than that, so, it's not something to be expected, right? So that's always surprising and nice if you do hit that, but otherwise just unique artworks is the way to go. Alright, we're nearly finished now, down to our last couple packs here. Like I said, I think we've got one more, maybe 2 more SR chances. I've not really been keeping count here, but like I said, if we can get the Borsalino, that would be perfect. If not, no worries. I guess the only other option is a Krieg, maybe. I think that might be the one that we haven't seen yet, but yeah, not too bothered if not. We do have a Don chance here. It is not the gold Don, so I'm assuming that is it. We've got a 3-hit box. We'll go ahead and run through these as quick as possible, though. Let me know down below also how your what decks you're building currently. I played Yamato in my locals. That was like the big thing I did. I ended up going 4-1, so I did pretty well, but I did lose to Crocodile. Crocodile is still a pain in the ass to go into with him freezing your board, and you just can't really do much, and I spend all this time getting my combos out, and then I can't really do anything with them. So that is still, I think, going to be a very strong deck into this meta, just in general. I think Crocodile's quite strong right now. But if there's a certain deck you're wanting to build or you have questions on, I always recommend using gumgum.gg for your deck lists. It's just usually the best place to find competitive decks. Hey, where's our Borsalino? Huge, yeah, $30 SR now, but maybe it's gone up a bit because it is just played in everything. It's used in blue, yellow, Nami. It's used in every yellow deck because it's not really bound by a leader or anything like that. So, but yeah, just let me know what decks you're planning on building or have built and have had some fun with. The next deck I'm building will be a Guffy, will be green, blue, Luffy. I played against that at locals and thought, yeah, that's a fun deck. It's very aggressive and it's very much my style. But I love Yamato. I love combos and aggression. It's just the best type of deck for me. Anyway, that is everything. We'll go ahead and run through all of the pulls just in case. Not a terrible total, I imagine, but probably could have been a bit better. But anyway, these are our SRs. We've got the Mamaragon, the Nami, the Zoro, and the Jin. Jin was probably the weakest one there, but overall, can't complain about our SRs. These were our alt art pulls from the ST-30 deck. And then we'll move into the big hits, right? So, the Zoro, probably my favorite card that we pulled today. Obviously going into the PC, but a card that I didn't even really realize had a dash pack version, so that's always nice to see. Love this Luffy. Again, for a secret rare, I think it's really well done. The Alvida, same. I think a bit undervalued. I know it's just not too playable right now. Like, no one's really running Krieg, but still a beautiful card. And the Rebecca alt art leader. Not too bad, lads. We'll always take a 3-hit box if we can. Yeah, actually, while I'm here, let me go ahead and compare So this is the crocodile from OP-04. I showed this in the last video. I just picked this one up. But I love this style, right? I love the fact that in the crocodile, you've got the Baroque works, and then obviously Rebecca, you've got, you know, Kairos, you've got Viola, you know, you've got their version of their crew, right? The Dressrosa crew. So I think just keep doing those alt arts that way. I prefer the alt art leaders in that style. I think a lot of other people do as well. But that is going to do it for today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as always. And let me know what your favorite hit in today's video was. And of course, I have to end on this. Come on, England! Come on, England! Come on, England! Come on, lads! Please, for the love of God, do something this game. That's all I ask. That's all I want, please. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.